Hey, what's going on out there in IE Network land on YouTube? And you know what time it is when it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's now time for the Benchwarmers podcast exclusively here on the IE Network on YouTube. Thank you all for joining in tonight, this evening. Of course, I am the host, the man himself, James Acevedo, and we're going to be talking about certain sports topics and stuff in the entertainment world, hopefully. Shout out to my co-host Heaven Hollywood and to my producer Wes Clark for making this possible here on the IE Network for me. Hopefully, Heaven is running a little late, so hopefully he's able to get on with us later on in the program. And Wes might be able to check in if he's free to do so. He's always welcome to be on this show, of course, because he produces it. So, so if you don't know, you can always check out this show every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively here on the IE Network on YouTube. Tell a friend and tell another friend, and because it's not just some boring sports show that we just go and then we're going to talk about X's and O's and this and that and stuff like that. Now we make it fun up in here. We tell the truth in here, but we also have some fun. And so thank you so much for everybody that's watching. I don't know if I can see the chat room. I don't see nothing in the chat room as of right now. Let me get out of this right now. Okay. So I don't see nothing right now, but that's okay. So let me go on with the show, and hopefully Evan will be on to join us and give us his brief thoughts on these topics for this week as we go along. It's a continued trend for the third week in a row. I'm going to start you off with Tiger Woods. As we last left you off as the Tiger turns, we'd let you know the status of Tiger Woods' condition as far as his health status and the situation. He had multiple fractures and doesn't really look well for his mobility, and when that's going to ever be the same ever again, you know, with him having a rod up his back and these multiple compound fractures on his legs. I mean, it's just a miracle that he's alive. There's also I said last week about there were three experts as far as when it comes to these car accident situations that were stating that there were no skid marks on the road, which indicates that obviously he didn't try to stop with his brake to stop the car in order, to stop him from falling over the side of the road like he did on the side of the cliff. Now there's reports from the sheriff's office out there that they're executing a search warrant for a black box in Tiger Woods' vehicle. And it's funny because, I was talking, pulling the curtain back a little bit. I was talking with me and my wife talking, and we were saying, for somebody who has so much money, you would think he has a more than a fully equipped type of car. He probably, like I say, he probably picks up Pluto from his car. So you would think there would be a black box, because we were talking about, well, maybe you would think there'd be a black box in cars nowadays. I mean, they're all over in airplanes. Why not in cars? Especially if it's a fully loaded luxury type of car, like he was probably driving. And lo and behold, this article comes out about a couple of days ago that the sheriff in that local county is executing a search warrant for the black box in Tiger Woods' car. Now, there are thoughts that maybe he fell asleep behind the wheel, which indicates why there was no skid marks on the road, because obviously if he was awake, he would try to stop the car. Obviously, we talked about this a few weeks ago and last week too, that there were no drugs in the system. So that was definitely accounted for, but they didn't take any blood work from him because they figured, well, since he wasn't impaired, they didn't do any blood work. So people are also speculating, well, is this going back to 2017 all over again, when he was, unfortunately on those substances, the medication he was taking, which impaired him from swerving around in and out of lanes that time back in 2017 when he got pulled over by the police. Now they're not saying that that's the case because they're still continuing with the investigation. But since they didn't do blood work, now they gotta look into the black box and see what the car was doing at the time of impact, or just before the time of impact, because they didn't take any blood work because they figured, well, he wasn't drunk, so why take blood work to see what alcohol level there was? But you would think, even if he wasn't impaired, you would think they would just do that anyway, just to make sure, well, if it's not alcohol related, maybe it was drug related. Not just, I'm not talking about just, street drugs. I'm talking about like pharmaceutical drugs. Like some people are thinking it's Ambien that maybe he was taking, and thus the reason why this accident happened, because reports were coming out that they asked him several times, does he remember what happened? And he says, not only does he not remember, he doesn't even remember that he was driving. So that's a big deal, because if I'm not mistaken, the side effects of Ambien, I think one of them is like memory loss. Like you could have short-term memory loss, if I'm not mistaken. But that's not looking good, and I don't think it's because he had a concussion. I mean, it's a possibility that it's because maybe he was under influence of his pharmaceutical medication, and if that's the case, I mean, that's possible criminal charges, unfortunately. I mean, it states here after this article that they're trying to, as they're reconstructing this traffic collision, that they're trying to see if anything was, going on wrong, if there was some sort of, impairment as far as it was him being under the influence of some sort of medication. That, in my opinion, that's a possibility. I'm not saying is not likely, but at the same time, I'm not going to come up here and say, yes, that's definitely the reason why it happened, because we don't know. Heck, all we know, it could be a vehicle malfunction too. That could be the case. But then again, if that was the case, why weren't there no skid marks? But again, we will see what will happen as the tiger continues, as the tiger turns with this situation. But there's a possibility, if they do find something in this black box, information on this black box from his vehicle, if there's at least maybe a misdemeanor was committed, and if it was, he could be charged. So, but the main thing is here that, that he's alive, he's responsive, he's trying to make a full recovery, which is going to take some time until that happens. So, we're going to see what's going to happen with him when they seek this warrant. It also states here, as I see, the department, which is the sheriff's department, will not seek a warrant to obtain Woods' blood to see if he was under the influence at the time. So they're still not going to take his blood, which obviously makes sense because, time has passed. So that's already, that chance for that were long and gone. So it's just a matter of what information from the black box will they get to determine if there was any foul play. Now, obviously, if they don't have anything in that black box, then there's nothing they could charge him with other than it was just an accident. So unless they try to find something else on him, I don't know. But it doesn't help to have a history where you've had incidences where you had this, happen to you before, as far as, being under influence while you were driving. Not that this is in this case currently, but, when you have that reputation, unfortunately that follows you the rest of your life. And if you come to a similar situation, people are going to jump the gun and think, oh, that's probably what it is again. So until all the facts come out, now we're going into, over 2 weeks now. We'll see. I mean, as far as I know, I think he checked out of the hospital. I think he did. Yeah, actually, he was moved to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center. That was just this past Friday. So, he's on the slow road to recovery. So hopefully, everything will turn out right, which is the main thing. Hopefully that, that his life is, back on straight, because it hasn't been the same since 2008. Let's be honest. Ever since that time in 2008, in Thanksgiving week, you know, with him and his ex-wife, his wife at the time, things have never not been the same with Tiger the last, you know, 12, 13 years. So hopefully that's the main thing, him getting better, getting everything straight, and then go from there. Talk about his golf career when that time comes, or if that time comes. So I wouldn't jump the gun on what's going on with him as far as is there any misdemeanor charge on him, stuff like that. So that's the update as far as Tiger Woods anyway. Now this next topic actually is up. It's up Heaven's Alley because it deals with his Pittsburgh Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers a couple of days ago agreed to a new contract, although there were rumors that maybe he would retire, which I didn't think he would retire, to be honest with you. Ben Roethlisberger is one of those type of quarterbacks that he's going to play till his arm falls off or he can't walk on the football field anymore. It says here that he signed a new deal for 2021. He signed a 2-year, $68 million extension. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. He signed a 2-year, $68 million extension in April 2019 that left him under contract through the upcoming season. So, and I'll say he wants to honor that contract. Okay, so they're willingly reducing his pay to $14 million from $19 million in this final year of his current contract. Okay, and they're going to spread the cash payment through 2022 per source. It lowered the cap hit by over $15 million. Also, the team can make the right moves to be as competitive as possible this season, which actually is a smart move by the team, because had they cut him altogether, it would have been the highest. Cap hit in NFL history. I think I saw a couple of weeks ago would have been a $33 million cap hit had they just let Kaepernick go. I mean, excuse me, Kaepernick. Excuse me, I meant Ben Roethlisberger. If they would have let Ben Roethlisberger go, that would have been a huge cap hit. It would have been approximately a $33 million cap hit, which would have definitely hurt him. They wouldn't have been able to do anything. But with the adjustments to his contract, which they reduced his final salary year for this upcoming season from $19 million to $14 million. So that way, that's an extra. If I'm doing the math right, 1, 2, 3, 4, $5 million to work with. The cap hit actually is lowered from $33 million to $15 million. I don't know how those parameters go. Why does it get lowered from that high to that low? I have no idea. But he's going to honor his contract, and that way, with the extra money that he's actually not going to be getting, that's going to help the team to reload and do what they got to do to make the team better. I mean, the Steelers. I'm gonna be honest, like I always am. Even when they started out, like 8-0, whatever it was, this past season, I didn't believe they were, on their way to the Super Bowl. I was actually surprised that they were actually doing that well. I mean, maybe Heaven, if he gets on here later, can speak for itself about that. But I didn't think anything big on the Steelers. Not that I thought the Steelers would not play well this year, but I didn't see them starting off like they did this past season. I think it was 8-0, whatever it was at one point, or almost 10-0, something like that. I was just very surprised at that when that happened, because I just didn't see this Steeler team being any good as it was in the past, like the past Ben Roethlisberger teams or Super Bowl winning teams of the past. So we'll see about that situation, and that's all I gotta say with this one. Okay, actually, last year, his stats, Roethlisberger last year, he threw for 3,803 yards, 33 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions, which actually helped him to a 12-4 season before they suffered the wild-card loss to the Cleveland Browns. I mean, it's amazing that they were 12-4, because, like I said, I didn't see him being a double-digit, that high in double digits and winning, like maybe 10 at best. If they would have went 9-7, I wouldn't have been surprised, or even 10-6. But more than that, it shows, how, maybe they played over their heads that year. Like I said, if Herbert comes on, he can tell me differently, but not that I follow the Steelers every day. But, it's not bad stats where he, for 39 years old, 3,803 yards, he threw for 33 touchdowns and only 10 interceptions. Eli wished he only threw for 10 interceptions in the last few years. More than double that in one season. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see what happens with Ben Roethlisberger, and we go from there to hold on the thoughts on there until see if Heaven comes on, or even if West comes on. Now, anybody doesn't know, there was the 2021 Basketball Hall of Fame finalists were announced. So this is, I think we're breaking it down. There's 14 finalists for its 2021 class. I don't know, to be honest with you, how many go win in 1 year. I'm not too familiar with the NBA All-Star class as I am with baseball or with football, but I think it's a certain number it has to be. But here are the names so far that are announced as the 14 finalists for the 2021 Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts. You got Chris Bosh, you got Paul Pierce, you got Lorraine Jackson, Bill Russell. Now, it's not Bill Russell as a player, because obviously he'd been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. This is Bill Russell as a head coach, which is kind of surprising because I didn't really hear so much that he was such a great coach. More that obviously he was a great player than a great head coach. Also, we got certain names I never heard of, like Rick Andelman, unless I see the face. Letta Andrews, Michael Cooper. Oh, Michael Cooper. Okay, Yolanda Griffith, Tim Hardaway. I said Lauren Jackson. Marquise Johnson, Maureen Stanley, Ben Wallace. Oh, Ben Wallace on here. Okay, Chris Webber. That's an interesting wild card there. Chris Webber and Jay Wright. By the way, this is Paul Pierce's first year of eligibility for the Hall of Fame ballot, and Bosh wasn't able to make it in 2020. So we'll see what if he gets in. Paul Pierce is a 10-time All-Star, 4-time All-NBA player. He ended his career averaging 19.7 points a game, 5.6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists while shooting 36.8% from the three-point field. His 2,143 made threes are ninth most in NBA history. He guided the Celtics, unfortunately, to the title in the 07-08 season, and he won the Finals MVP. And as far as with Paul Pierce, I mean, it's a I could see him being in the Hall of Fame eventually. He definitely is a big time player. To me, he's not a first ballot. I don't know. I don't see him as like, wow, first ballot. To me, it's not like LeBron or like Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson. Players like that. He's definitely a very, very good player, but I don't know first ballot. I say eventually he'll definitely be in the Hall of Fame if it's not this year, he'll definitely will be, depending on the rest of the class. As far as Chris Bosh, I mean, that's even more questionable. I can see Paul Pierce being in the Hall of Fame than Chris Bosh. I mean, Chris Bosh, he made 11 All-Star teams. He would have been in a few more if it was for health issues, which we all know with his, life-threatening issues from a few years back in 2016. He averaged 19.2 points a game, 8.5 rebounds over 13 seasons, and he rode the LeBron bandwagon to win 2 titles. Although his biggest claim to fame is probably that rebound in Game 6 of forgot what finals year that was with the Heat, where Tim Duncan should have been in the game, but I don't know what this head coach was thinking of the Spurs not to have him out there. That's the only reason why Paul Pierce, Chris Bosh got the rebound and passed it to Ray Allen for an easy 3. Ray Allen can shoot threes in his sleep. Now, Ray Allen, I don't know if Ray Allen's in the Hall of Fame. Now, Ray Allen, I can see being in the Hall of Fame. Like, I see him as a first ballot. Chris Bosh, no. Matter of fact, I don't even see Chris Bosh being Hall of Fame, period. At least with Paul Pierce, I can see it. I'm not saying he's first ballot, but I can see it. I mean, with Chris Bosh, 19.2 points a game and 8.5 rebounds, 13 seasons. I just don't. I don't feel it. As far as now with this one, we have Now we gotta remember with this NBA. Oh, wait, excuse me. With this, it's not called the NBA Hall of Fame. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not just NBA players. It's also WNBA players, college players, in both the men's and the women's side. So, you know, certain people I'm not gonna know too well, unless you know they're obvious. Right here, this person right here. Who's this person right here? Jackson. Jackson. What's the first name? I know I said. Oh, Lorraine Jackson. Okay, I think this is a female. 3-time MVP, 7-time All-Star in the Australian Center, has the second most wins. And she's a female. So she has the second most wins. She has 73.03 in WNBA history, according to Basketball Reference. That total is even more impressive considering she's only spent 12 seasons in the league and was limited to 22 games over her final 2 years. That's interesting. Jackson also was ahead of her time in that she was a non-traditional big. Her 436 three-pointers are 17th all-time in the WNBA. So, you know, as far as, you know, going by that, I'm going to be honest. I can't say, oh, yeah, she's a Hall of Famer, or no, she's not a Hall of Fame. It doesn't, you know, I got to be real. I don't know. Unless I know her real well, you know, I'm not going to say yay or nay. Now, with Chris Webber, member of the Fab Five back in the Michigan days of the early 90s, this is an interesting argument you could have. I mean, knee issues robbed him some of his career, which he could have been a more, you know, his career could have been even more elevated than it is now. But Chris Webber is an interesting situation when it comes to Chris Webber. If I look up, matter of fact, let me look up Chris Webber's career, because see, when I remember when he first came into the league, I think he came into the league. I'm trying to remember what year. It might have been 94. 95, yeah, it was like around that year. I think he got drafted 94 or 95. I think it was the 94. No, I think it was 94 because I remember the Magic won the lottery again after they won it with Shaq 3-4 years earlier, and they got they won the lottery ball to get Chris Webber, the Orlando Magic. Like, yeah, I'll be kidding me. But then they traded the pick to get Penny Hardaway from the Warriors, and the Warriors in return got Chris Webber. I'm going to see Chris Webber. Chris Webber's interesting career. Because he definitely is. That's more of an interesting, to me, that's more interesting than Paul Pierce. Like I said, I'm not saying Paul Pierce is not a Hall of Famer. I'm just not saying first ballot. Chris Webber, I don't know if he's, this is his first time going eligibility. Let's see. He's a 5-time NBA All-Star, 5-time All-NBA team, a former Rookie of the Year, of course, and a former #1 overall pick by the Golden State Warriors, like I was just stating at the time. Let's see here. His stats. Let me look at this. Of course, this is not helping me. Hold on. Basketball Reference. Let me go to Basketball Reference. Yeah, because at least with Chris Webber, I could see with him being a borderline Hall of Famer. I don't know how many times he's been attempting to get in the Hall of Fame. Let's see. Okay, he played 831 games in his career, averaged 20.7 points a game. Let's see. Let's see, 20.7 game point. Let me see here. Don't you hate when your computer acts stupid? Okay, here we go. You hate when it freezes over. Let's see here. Okay, let's see. 20.7 points a game. He scored on an average. 1.4 blocks. This was career, by the way. 1.4 steals, 4.2 assists, 2.7 offensive rebounds. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I can see him being in the Hall of Fame. I mean, how many points he scored altogether? Let's see, how many points did he scored? Let's see. Trying to see how many points he scored. Doesn't say on here. But at least with Chris Webber, it makes more sense with him that I could see him more. I could definitely see him being in Hall of Fame. Paul Pierce, definitely in due time, I could see him being in Hall of Fame. But first ballot, I think it all depends on the class. Now, if you're telling me, well, if you choose between Bosch and Paul Pierce, then definitely Paul Pierce. Now, if you're telling me Paul Pierce and Chris Webber, probably slight edge. It's definitely an edge to Paul Pierce, I think, over Chris Webber. Chris Webber is borderline. I mean, Chris Webber is right there. I mean, I could see him, being in the Hall of Fame, And like I said, I don't know if this was his first eligibility. Let me see. That's a good question. Let's see. Let me see. Let me go right here. This is when it gets interesting here. Is this Chris Webber? Chris Webber's. Hold on. This is where. Is this Chris Webber's? No, I didn't mean to press that. Ain't nothing like live, being on live, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Is this Chris Webber's? Hold on. Is this Chris Webber's first year? First year. Come on, are you kidding? Don't you hate when you trying to spell words and they spell it wrong automatically when you know you didn't press those buttons? First year of, see, now that I did, that was my fault, of eligibility. Hold on. Let's see, in the basketball Hall of Fame. Let's see. Let's see right here. Interesting. Let's see what my trusty computer is going to tell me. Hello, I press enter. What's going on? Let me see here. Going to any. Let's see. Hey, Joseph Tanner, what's up? How's everything? Sorry I didn't see your comments earlier. Too busy trying to do this show here. Let's see. Let's see. What is this here? His first year he was in. Okay. Actually, I think from what I'm seeing here, this is not his first year eligibility. His first year eligibility was, I think, just over 2 years ago. So it's still not okay. Okay. Funny, on this old article here that came out in 2019, now that I found out this ain't his first year for Chris Webber, his eligibility for the Basketball Hall of Fame, there's some people saying at that time that maybe because of that Michigan scandal is the reason why maybe he's not in the Hall of Fame, which I don't know about that. I mean, are they going against him with the timeout thing that he did, that mistake that he did, and they're using it against him, which is not the Michigan scandal, by the way. That's totally different. But I'm saying, like, I don't think so. I don't think so. But it's just interesting why he's not in. So it's just, so obviously this is his third year trying to get in. Who knows if he will be? His first year eligibility, he wasn't even a nominee. As far as this article states from a few years ago, this is actually adding 2 years later. This is 8th year eligibility. So I didn't know it's been that long. Holy crap. So it's been a long time that he hasn't, he's been on the ballot and yet not been voted in for Hall of Fame. So that tells you a lot that a lot of people, they don't think his 20.7 points a game on average, they feel probably his injured career probably stopped him from being immortal in the Hall of Fame. That's probably one of the reasons why. Are they using the Michigan timeout thing against him? That blunder that he did when he was in college, part of the Fab Five back in the day? That was back in, what, 94, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, 94. Was it 94? Yeah, it was in 94. I think on March Madness of 94. Michigan against North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Tar Heels. I mean, that'd be stupid if they use that against him, if it's that. The Michigan scandal, I mean, possibly. I'm not too familiar with the scandal, his involvement with the scandal. So, I mean, as far as it's stating right here, he was involved in the Michigan scandal, which wound up him pleading guilty in a criminal attempt charge for lying about getting paid by Ed Martin, who was a prominent booster dating all the way back to the 8th grade. Oh, that's interesting. I forgot about that, actually. So Are they using that against him as to why he's not in the Hall of Fame? I mean, maybe because it's the Basketball Hall of Fame and not the NBA Hall of Fame. Like I was stating earlier, it goes, this Hall of Fame is all of baseball. I mean, excuse me, all of basketball, not just the NBA. It's the NBA, WNBA, college, not high school, of course. But I mean, that's interesting if they're using that against him. But that was only a few years ago when that happened, if I'm not mistaken. So it wasn't like when that came out. So it wasn't like it was back then, just before or just when he just started being eligible for the Hall of Fame. So as far as I can remember. So I don't know. We'll see what goes on with that. Yeah, Joseph Tanner saying what scandal? It's the Michigan scandal. Something to do with him getting paid, because back, when you're a college player, you're not supposed to be getting paid while you're playing or having an agent or any type of endorsements of any kind. But it's funny how they can't do that, but the colleges can. They can use your name and your likeness, and they can make money off of you. That's funny how they can do that, right? Which, I've always been opposed. The colleges are so full of crap. They use all these players and, for their monetary gain, and it is what it is. Oh, Tanner's like, oh, the Michigan scandal. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The Michigan Wolverine scandal. Yeah. So I totally forgot about that. I mean, is that being used against him for the reason why he's not been voted in yet in the Hall of Fame? Well, I mean, if that was the case, then why would they have him on the list? Why don't they just ban him? Or why why play? I mean, let's be honest. Are these people that are on a higher above, that control this stuff, can they be petty? You like to mess with people's feelings? Absolutely. They definitely would love to do that, to rub it in Chris Webber. But I mean, but even taking away that scandal, it's still questionable if he's eligible for the Hall of Fame anyway. I mean, he was a very good player, definitely a very good player. Hall of Fame, I think, because of his injury-prone career, especially towards the end of it, I think that that unfortunately prevents him from being in the Hall of Fame. I mean, now we're talking about 8 years he's eligible. I don't know when does it end, his eligibility for the Hall of Fame. I don't know if it's 10 years and that's it, then he's off the ballot, because each sport is different. With baseball, it's 10. It used to be 15, then they cut it to 10. And then baseball goes to a veteran committee or something after the eligibility years are done by the writers, and then go by there. Let's see, Joseph Tanner is saying, so are they fixing a basketball game scandal like Arnold Rotherson fixing a baseball scandal? I don't know. Good question. I have no idea. But I don't know. That's just, it's all, all this for politics and stuff behind the scenes. You never know. Are they using that against Chris Webber? It's a possibility. To me, it should not be about that. It should be, was he good in the court or not? Is he a legendary basketball player or not? He didn't kill nobody. He didn't, do any harm to anybody, as far as physically or mentally. So, unless it's that, it should be about his play. Don't get me started with Pete Rose, by the way. Pete Rose should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, and yet, they have his bat and his, his helmet, whatever. Oh, the bat that he hit the ball with, to break the Ty Cobb all-time hit record, but yet they don't have a plaque on him, which is stupid. It's just so dumb. So it is what it is. So yeah, so I don't know what else there is to talk about. See, this is where I miss my co-host, because without my co-host here or my producer here, very hard for me to continue, unless there's something else I missed here, which actually I could look up real quick. Maybe there's something I missed that maybe came up, maybe something that came up on the wire or something. Because other than that, because I don't do the stuff, this is just, I do the sports stuff. Heaven does the stuff as far as the entertainment world, and I don't want to pick and choose what that might be, because that's more of Heaven's forte than it is mine. Let's see here, Bleacher Report. I'm gonna see if there's anything anything that I missed, because I might end the show early, to be honest, because I can't think of nothing else to talk about. I know. Oh yeah. While I'm waiting for Aaron Boone had to leave spring training in Tampa because he had a pacemaker put in because he's been having heart issues going way back to I think like 08 or 09. But you know the surgery went well. He's back with the Yankees. Everyone knows I'm a diehard Yankee fan ever since 1980. So we're talking about a long time. So you know he's back. He's okay. So that's good. You know I'm glad. You know he's always had some heart issues. I remember towards the end of his playing days he had a big time operation of his heart. I think he had a heart valve that needed to be done or something, and he's been dealing with that since all this time. You know, and you're dealing with a job being a manager, especially the manager of the Yankees. You know, that's not an easy job to do. You know, not an easy job to do. So, you know, the stress could kill you literally. So, I'm just glad that he's okay. I know I saw something about what's his name getting a contract. He has the second richest contract in NFL today, right now. What's his name from the stupid Dallas Cowboys? I forgot his name. Let's see. Yeah, Dak Prescott. Yeah, he signed a new deal finally. Yeah, Jerry Jones woke up and said, you know what, I need to have him on my team. Otherwise, my team would really suck. Not that we're doing any better with him anyway. I'm trying to remember how much he got. I know he got the second richest contract behind Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes has like the biggest contract, you know, of all time. I know he's getting his guaranteed contract is like $48 million. I think Prescott is like $42 million guaranteed. He's signing a 4-year, $42 million, something like that. I gotta look this up real quick. Let's see, because we know when you're nearing I think tomorrow is the deadline for the franchise tag. Every football team does in the NFL. So, you know, Prescott, you know, is not getting that, obviously. Let's see. Trying to find out what. Let me go to this. It'll be easier. Dak Prescott. Let's see. Dak Prescott. Here we go. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what his contract is. Because you gotta remember in the NFL, not all contracts are guaranteed. Let's see. Okay, his contract. Here we go. Let's see. A 4-year, $160 million contract. So he basically signed that, and I think out of that, I think $42 million is guaranteed, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. My trusty computer is gonna say, while I wait, let's see what I'm getting here. Let's see. Yeah, I remember Pete Rose was tombstone by the big red monster, the Undertaker. I mean, by Kane. Yes, misspelling. No, that's all right. It's okay, Joseph. Everyone makes mistakes, misspelling words. It's okay. Let's see. Let's see. 4-year. Okay. So the deal has a maximum value of $164 million for Dak Prescott, including $126 million in guaranteed money. So he has $126 million guaranteed out of the 160. So he averages, like I said earlier, $42 million a year over the first 3 seasons, with $75 million in the first season and $66 million signing bonus. Not too bad for a 27-year-old. So all you IG models out there and all those women in the entertainment world, this is your guy, I guess. Because unless Pat Mahomes is not taking, I know, but that's interesting with that. I mean, Dak Prescott, you know, he's all right. You know, Dak Prescott, you know, to me, he's, you know, not a. I mean, he's good, but to me, he's not great. But then again, playing the NFC least, you know, as I call it, especially the way the division is the last 2 years, he could definitely be the best quarterback in that division. I mean, think about it. Name me the Washington team's quarterback. Name me the Giants. Okay, you got what's his name, Jones, but he's still you know, being up and coming. You know, we don't know if he's going to be any good. Daniel Jones is okay. He's doing all right, but he's not Dak Prescott. I would say Dak Prescott's better than him right now. With the Eagles, okay, you got that Hurts guy that now is going to be the main guy as of now, which I don't know that's going to stay that way when the beginning of the season starts in the fall. Is he better than Dak Prescott? No. Then you have who else is left? Let's see there. See Eagles. Yeah. So yeah, those. Yeah. So who else? I mean, okay, Giants, Reds. Washington team and what's to call it? The Eagles. Dak Prescott is the best quarterback in that division. So it's all about putting a good team together for Dak Prescott to have a chance. I mean, they could win the division. I mean, obviously, when he got hurt, thanks to the Giants, my team, that the Cowboys really fell apart. So obviously, Dak Prescott is a high-end commodity, and they paid him like what finally. It took forever. I mean, they franchised him last year. Jerry Jones, I guess, was still waiting and praying if Tony Romo was coming back, which I'm shocked because, to be honest with you, a few years back, I said in my old show on the Benchwarmers show years back when he first went into broadcasting as a color analyst, I was like, oh, there's no way he's staying with that. He's probably just for 1 year coming right back. And I was wrong. And he turned out to be one of the most interesting color analysis in all of football. I mean, he's not great, but he's interesting because he's kind of like the current John Madden in a way. Not that he's just like John Madden, but in a way he's like the 21st century version of John Madden, the way Tony Romo is as a color analyst on TV. So, yeah, Dak Prescott, I mean, good for him. He has a no trade clause and a no tag provision. So I guess no franchise tag he could ever get or something like that, I guess. So that's the two big clauses in his contract that are very important. So, but like I said, but it's funny. I saw something on him just the other day. Oh, it's not Dak Prescott was talking about. Well, it's not about money. It's it's about the love of the game. Why do they all say that? I mean, okay, obviously you love to play the game. We all know that. But let's be honest. You're not just doing this for your health, and especially playing football where you can get killed out there, getting sacked and hit every 2 seconds. Let's be real. I just hate when they use that cliche. Oh, it's not about the money. So if it's not about the money, then why did you accept this contract? You could be like, nah, you can take that 4-year, $164 million. It's okay. Because if it's not about the money, I mean, like, hey, right? But good for him on that. I mean, like I said, in that division, in my division in NFC East, he's definitely the best quarterback. He's better than Daniel Jones on my Giants. Daniel Jones is not too bad, but he's not a proven commodity yet, because I don't see the Giants, drafting a quarterback this year. I think they're sticking with this guy for at least another year and see what they could do, especially with their new head coach and stuff like that. So, that started since last year. So we'll see about that. And like I said, Hurts on the Eagles, he's just a rookie. He hasn't proven nothing yet. And with the Washington football team, I can't even name you the quarterback. So obviously, I think, we'll see. It's just a matter of them building a team around the Cowboys. The gymnastics. Yeah, Joseph. I don't know too much about the death on John Gittard, who's the gymnastic. I don't know too much about him. Sorry about that, Joseph. I have to look into it before I can make a comment on it. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So other than that, I don't know what else is going on. Unless one of my boys come in here and add something into the show, I got nothing else for you. Let me see. Well, oh yeah, I saw something with baseball. Hold on. I know there was something with baseball. Something about obviously they're not going with the universal DH and with the extra couple teams in the playoffs and stuff like that. That's not a surprise, only because the union wants to get back at the owners because they felt they got shanked in the last negotiations a few years back. So they're going to use that probably that playoff extra couple of teams as their negotiation chip for what they want, which is probably the moon and the stars. Who knows? Like they don't have enough. So let's see what's over here. No, nothing else. Yeah, pressure. Oh, Heaven says he's here. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I don't know how to add. How do I add you to the stream, yo? Heaven says he's here. How do I add him? I don't know how to add him. I don't know how to do it, yo. Because I didn't sign in, Hev. I don't know if you can hear me, but I didn't sign in. It was already programmed by Wes. So I don't know how to add you. You just can't come right in. Let's see here. I don't know. Because let's see. Chat. Add me to the stream. I don't know how to add you to the stream. Where it says add to stream. Yeah, I don't see it, bro. I don't know where it says add to stream. Let's see. All I see here is Mike, Cam / Mike, chat, and leave. So you're gonna have to help me. Where can I do it? Hover over my name. I don't see your name, bro. I don't see your name. I don't see it on my end. Like I said, I didn't sign in myself. It was already programmed by Wes. So I didn't sign in myself. So I'm not in control of I didn't sign in through the StreamYard. You know, that was already done for me. It was already automatically scheduled by Wes. So I gotta see how to I don't know how to do this from here. So usually though, when you come on, you just come in on your end. So I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm sorry. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Yeah, trying to find out what.
Hello. What's up? What's up? What's up? Jimmy Ace, what's going on? What's up, people?
Hey,
What
hey,
up?
that's you got on. I got. You hear me?
Yep. You hear me?
Testing, 1, 2. Yes, you sound a little
Can you hear
echoey.
me?
Yeah, I hear you pretty much, but you sound like you got a little feedback in the back.
Let me turn this down a little. Hold on.
Not much better. Hello, Captain Video.
How about this?
Much better, yes.
Okay,
Much
cool.
better. All right, Heaven I was in his house. My co-host
What's up? What's up?
What's up? It's Beth Timothy in the mic. What's up?
Rocco.
Hey, Rocco!
Hey,
Rocco! All right, Sly.
Rocco.
All right, Sly. Hey, Rocky. You can't win, Rocky. Eat lightning and crap out thunder. That's a little private joke with me and Heaven because, you know, we love Rocky so much. You know, we've done this in the past.
This guy will kill you to death to China 3 rounds.
You can't last. You can't win, Rock. You just can't. Even
This
if you
guy
eat like
is a wrecking machine.
he's a wrecking machine. You cannot stand you. You can't.
What's going on, Jimmy Ace?
Not much, man. Not much, man. I was catching up with telling everybody everything that's been going on. I practically have everything covered. The only thing that hasn't been covered is your viewpoints of what I talked about.
Okay, and let's see what we covered today.
Yeah, so I could spin the wheel. I could
Okay.
so we can get right to it, because I'm interested in your take. I already talked about, I don't know if you heard about it. I can get your point of view on this. Maybe you heard something more than I did. I don't know if you heard about the Tiger Woods situation, as far as the sheriff from that county is executing a search warrant for a black box in his vehicle.
Ooh.
So it's funny, because I was saying, you know what? You would think these cars nowadays, especially
Black box had a woman hiding in his vehicle, huh? Oh boy, I tell you, that's Tiger, boy. Yeah.
You'd be
A black woman? Oh no. That's not like Tiger.
Actually, you know, the way he is, he doesn't go that way. But yeah. So it's funny, because I was saying that earlier. So, you know, you would think they would.
So I hear a lot of feedback coming from your. Now is this? Hold on.
Yeah, how about now?
I hear a lot of feedback.
I didn't do nothing different.
Let me see something.
You sound good.
Make sure it's not me. Oh man, with the technical difficulties, gee whiz.
But on my end, you sound fine. You don't sound like bad like you did when you first came on.
Huh, really?
I swear, all these years later, going back to Westbury, it's always something. You know, going back to Dollhouse, it's always something. It follows us everywhere we go. From Dollhouse, from the Gangs to broadcasting, from Dollhouse to, you know, being on YouTube, and like, gee, they're going to Podomatic, and Jesus, like, one of the few things that's consistent.
I know, technical problem. Doesn't surprise me at all, because like I said, when we talked about Tiger last week,
yes,
I said that it would not surprise me if there was something else. There's something missing. Something about this story did not click to me. There was something that it seemed like was missing. Something was off. Sure. And it's just that, you know, you just don't ride down the street and all of a sudden towards the road. I mean, was there somebody in the car with him? Was he getting what do they call that when you're getting a dome at 100 miles an hour?
I don't think this is a Kevin Hart situation. Oh, my back. Oh, now I can walk again. Okay, whatever. Anyway, that's another day.
You better hope it wasn't. You know.
Anyway. Yeah.
Like a rumored Teddy Pendergrass situation. If you remember back in the day.
Oh yeah, good old Teddy
Pendergrass. Yeah. They said that when he lost control on the Philly highway, they were saying that it was determined that he was getting, you know, pleased by going 100 miles an hour. So and he lost control.
He was like, you got three. Oh.
Yeah, Tiger. Let's make sure Tiger wasn't nobody in the car with him. But like I said, that doesn't surprise me. I'm interested to hear what they find. A black box in his car, like an airplane. Like they have an airplane.
Like but it's funny. I was just saying just the other day, like you would think they would have that by now, especially a guy like Tiger Woods. You know, like I say, he probably could pick up Pluto with everything he got equipped in his car. So you would think something like that. You know, so remember what I told you last week as the Tiger Turns, you know, this new soap opera that's been going on. Right. There was no skid marks on the road. No skid marks on the road. No skid marks on the road. And it just seems weird that going by what happened in 2017, you know, when he was under the influence of his medication, there's also something that was saying, well, maybe it was the Ambien. Because the thing is, here's what happened. They checked him. He wasn't impaired, right?
Right.
So when he wasn't impaired, since he wasn't, they didn't take his blood. Because they said, well, why take his blood if he wasn't impaired? But my thinking is, well, why wouldn't you do that just to cover bases? Especially, it could be pharmaceutical drugs. Not saying that, you know, he was doing something, you know, street drugs or something like that. But it could be pharmaceutical, which caused him to doze off and, you know, happen what happened. I'm not saying this is what happened.
Possible.
But the evidence, as far as we know, points that way, and until they execute the warrant to get the black box and what's in it was, and see what information they can get from it, we won't know. And at worst, it'd be a misdemeanor if they find something. But what I don't understand is, let's say they do find something, but can't prove that it was, Ambien or whatever. Maybe he just was tired and fell asleep.
Yeah. It was early in the morning, though. Didn't you just wake up? Still sleepy, bro?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that's not a.
Woke up, had his coffee, took a shower, and still sleepy after all that?
I don't know. It just
doesn't. I get what you're saying, and I hope for Tiger's sake that is what happened. But when you think about it, when you wake up, you got somewhere to be. You wake up, you take a shower, you have your coffee, you start driving. How many times after are you still sleepy? You just and it's what, a 20-minute drive?
He's like something
like.
How
long is the drive?
I don't know. I don't know how long.
I believe, if I remember correctly, they said it wasn't a long drive, right? So
yeah, okay.
After waking up, getting in the shower, now you're kind of awake. You have your breakfast, you have your coffee. You're a 20-minute drive. Within 20 minutes, you're dozing off already.
Oh, it don't look good.
It could. This just doesn't seem very realistic. Now, I could see if, he was hanging. Now, maybe he was hanging out all night the night before.
Maybe.
Maybe he just went from there, didn't wash up,
Maybe.
So maybe he did that. That's possible.
Maybe.
So, we'll see. I guess when this black box comes back like they do on the flight, maybe it has some sort of thing, maybe not, but we'll move on to the next. I'm just gonna wait on Tiger and find out what happened.
Exactly. I thought the bigger news was like, wow, they have a black box in a vehicle. Okay, that's interesting.
It is. Like I said, the only planes usually have that.
Yeah, I know. So that's like, okay.
That's a man used to crashing his car.
I think he was like,
just in case one thing happens and I never make it out of here, I want to have a black box in here. I've never heard of that thing being in a car.
I want the story to be told correctly.
We'll see.
Although, the one thing we do agree on, since this started, there's something fishy in Denmark.
There's something fishy.
Yeah, it's not like right away, oh, this is an accident. I've been stating
for his sake, I hope it was no shenanigans. I hope it was just.
I hope not.
Simply, he lost control, which is very simple to do. He lost control of the car. They do say that highway, if you're going too fast, sometimes the turn comes up on you and you're not suspecting it. And there's actually a turn like that on the Southern State Parkway around exit 28 when Syosset is about to turn into Jericho Turnpike. If you're coming around on the Southern State Parkway, we used to call it the Southern Death Parkway. If you're coming on the Southern State Parkway and you get to exit 28, right where Syosset and the Southern State splits, right? And if you go this way, you go to like 28S, and then you're on like the northern or whatever, or the side, whatever it's called, right? Yeah. So, but you come around that turn, and it's pretty steep. You don't know, and then what happens is, if you don't make the turn, right, there's like woods there, and the people, you know how many people just went sailing into those woods, and the woods are like, it's the backyard of people's houses.
Holy crap!
So I've seen so many people turn that corner all casual, coffee in one hand. They're not expecting the turn to be so steep, and they're making the turn too fast. And the next thing you know, they just go sailing into the woods. And some people crash through people's houses, because like I said, they're in their backyard.
Holy crap.
So some people crash through their back door. I'm like, what's wrong with these people?
I mean,
it is possible.
And I'm gonna tell you one thing for those who don't know about the Long Island roads, especially at night, they don't believe in lights out there. So
Nope.
it's like good luck.
Right. No.
Good luck, baby.
What
Pay
else we
attention
had
to
on the
the
agenda tonight?
Well, the other thing was, which is right up your alley. I want you to give your thoughts about Ben Roethlisberger. Basically, I think they reconstructed his contract.
Yeah, they're giving him another year.
Yeah. Oh, you sound so thrilled about that.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping. Look, I love Ben. He's a Hall of Famer. He will probably go down as not the best Steeler
No.
playoff quarterback, but when you look at all the Steeler quarterbacks from regular season to postseason, he's better. He was better than Bradshaw. You know, Bradshaw was 4-0 in the postseason. But you look, Bradshaw's regular numbers, I believe, didn't he lead the NFL in total picks or interceptions or?
Well, that's no. Brett Favre has that record.
Well, now, but if you look back at Bradshaw's regular season stats, they were nowhere near good. I don't know how many. Bradshaw was, like I said, he was a money playoff quarterback. So of course he will money. Of course, he will never be Terry Bradshaw in Steeler fans' eyes because Terry Bradshaw was undefeated in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and let me see his playoff record. Okay, he played in 19 playoff games.
Roethlisberger, right?
Yeah. No, we're talking about Bradshaw. So we were talking about Bradshaw. Okay, so let's see. 19 playoff games. Out of those 19, he had 15 comebacks, 23 game-winning drives.
Exactly.
It's alarming where 15 comebacks. So
we were always behind.
Well, you know.
So what did they have his record?
Yeah, I'm going right here. I'm going to footballreference.com thing because it's pretty good, these websites. Let's see. Playoffs. Okay, here we go. Playoffs. Playoffs.
He's probably 13-6 or
let's see.
12 and I'm trying to see real quick. He played in 19 playoff games.
Okay,
and 4 Super Bowls.
Okay, let's see here. Let's keep
track. Probably like 15-4, maybe.
Okay, hold on. Okay, let's see what we got here. Come on, give me the postseason. Okay, here we go. Why are you messing with me? I swear, here we go with the technology again. 1970. I'm trying to. Why can't you just give me the whole thing?
Right.
Jeez. Always gotta be difficult. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Okay. No, that's okay. That's the regular season. He was 4-9 that year, his first year. Why can't you just give me his freaking?
If you take a look at his regular season stats.
His regular season stats, yeah.
You could tell.
Yeah. He wants to slow down on me. Like, geez. But yeah, they took basically with Ben Roethlisberger, they just basically took his upcoming $19 million salary and cut it down to 14, and used some of that money to try to, I guess, help them somehow.
Yeah. I'm not gonna stay long on it, but I was hoping kinda that we would just start over.
Okay.
And kind of like if Mason Rudolph is going to be the gap quarterback, if he's not going to be the gap quarterback, you see, the best chance for them to have moved on is since they never like to do anything in free agency. Was probably the year that they're 9-7 or something like that. Like Mason Rudolph, they got him in the draft, and we should have been finding out whether Mason Rudolph is a starting NFL quarterback, right? So You know, I thought I liked him when I first seen him. I'm like, he's like Roethlisberger, and you know, he's like a young Roethlisberger. But because Ben didn't take time and to tutor him and to mentor him, or whatever, it's kind of like those first 3 years he was like learning on his own. Because Ben, you know, Ben didn't take to him because Ben was coming back telling us he's retiring every single year. So then we go and get rid of it. He goes, "Oh, you know, why is everybody trying to push me out the door so quickly? You know, I'm not done. You know, I still got 3 years left. You know, so I still got at least 3 good years left. But it's not so much that Ben dinks and doinks now, because so does Drew Brees. So that's not the point. But if you got to get the roster around him, if he's going to be a dink and doink quarterback, you can't surround him with 3 deep threats. Yeah, because he can't get him the ball. I mean, exactly. So I was kind of hoping that we start over with Ben after last season when he lost to Cleveland, and during the offseason, Ben Roethlisberger has never been the guy to take care of himself in the offseason. He doesn't do offseason training. He doesn't take care of his body. Look at his body now. Look at Tom Brady, who's 43, and look at Ben, who's 38, 39. Look at his he's never off season. He's falling off motorcycles. He's getting that's right. He's getting into trouble. He's like in bars, you know, like making slurs and stuff like that. So he's never been one to take himself off the court, and he's not going to do what it takes to get his body ready for the upcoming season. So I thought we should have cut ties with him. I really did, but next year we're going to come back to Steelers. You know, the Steelers are never going to be terrible. Tomlin's not a terrible coach. They've got a good roster, so he's going to do just. We're going to go 10-6 again, not have a high pick, but they're going to go. The Steelers are either winning it all, or they're just good enough to make the playoffs and 10-6, 11-5. You know, where you're never going to get a low pick because your record is too good. Yeah. And then they don't draft quarterback. They don't pay for quarterbacks in free agency. So they drafted every good quarterback the Steelers had. Bradshaw, we drafted. After him, we had a gap quarterback. I think Mike Tomczak came after him. Terrible. We had Bubby Brister. Terrible. After Bubby Brister he transferred to Neil O'Donnell. We had Cordell Stewart and then Neil O'Donnell. Neil O'Donnell and then Cordell Stewart. Yeah, something like that. And then from Cordell, we had a gap quarterback. We had Tommy Maddox for a year. And then we brought in Ben. And we got Tommy Maddox, former Giant. We got Tommy Maddox because we seen him that 1 year in the XFL, and he had a good year in the XFL, and then we went and made him a quarterback. That's right. And then he was fired. You're fired. So listen to this. So I finally got Terry Bradshaw as a career in the playoffs. Okay, so I'm gonna do this this count real quick. So in '72. He was 1-1 in the playoffs. Okay, 73, he lost right away. Okay, that's 1-2. 1-2. In 74, they won the Super Bowl. So that's 3 wins. 1, 2, 3. So right now he's 4-2. 4-2. Okay, now 75. Oh yeah, they went back to back. Yeah, so that's another 3 wins. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, 72. Okay, 72. Okay, then in 76, of course, they didn't repeat. He was 1-1. Okay, so that's 8-3. Then let's see. Hold on. Where am I lost here? Okay, 83. Okay, now 77, 1 and done. Well, that's a loss. Okay, so that's 8-4. Okay, 78, they won it all. So that's 3 more. So that's 11 and 10. So 11 and 4. And then in 79, they repeated. So 3 more wins. 14 and 4. Okay, 14 and 4. And then I guess then they didn't make the playoffs a couple of years.
and 80, the year of 82 is last year. He lost. So actually pretty good.
Yeah, I said in the playoffs he's 14. That's why I said 19 games, 14-5. So that's why I said all Steeler fans remember and care about is what he did in the postseason. I mean, he was money. He was 14-5. He had 4 Super Bowls. He didn't lose.
Yep.
And we beat Dallas twice. So how much better can you get than that?
Yeah,
but, we beat our nemesis Roger Staubach, and I remember my good friend Chris Ziegler. Shout out to him. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan. He's been a Dallas Cowboy fan since we was kids. He was 6 or 7 years old, and he used to taunt me with Staubach. He would come out, we're playing football. He'd be doing his little Roger Staubach hand gestures. I'm like, oh my God, I freaking hate this dude. A white dude like Chris Ziegler, right? So, and he would have his little towel hanging out the front like Staubach. Like, so I was always the Steeler. Of course, I'm the Steeler fan or whatever. And then I was like, damn, this is the one and only time, because I'm trying to be Bradshaw. This is the one and only time I wish I was white, because it didn't come off. It didn't come off the same. I'm acting like Bradshaw. Bradshaw's white, So I'm like, damn, if I was white, I'm more athletic than Chris. I mean, if I was white, it would be perfect. But I had to be like Franco or something like that, because Franco's the black guy. But he would just taunt me. Staubach was the good-looking Navy guy, and Dallas, America's team. Oh, I couldn't stand him. When we beat them in the Super Bowl
twice,
he didn't talk to me for like a week. That was the second one. Now I was a little too young to remember the first time we beat them, 21-17, I think. And that one, that's the one when Jackie Smith, the infamous, dropped. Staubach put it right in it, and he slid and dropped it. And the Staubach like the only time I've ever seen him show up a receiver. He said, "Come on!" Turn around. I mean, he put it right there. Jackie Smith, and then the second one we beat them 35-31. We were blowing them out 35-14. And then they came back. They came storming back, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I thought that they were going to come back and win, but we beat them 35-31. And of course, they got the revenge on us with Neil O'Donnell against Dallas when they had Dion and Michael Irving and this bomb squad. So that was when Neil O'Donnell threw 3 picks to some guy that he made famous for 1 year. Got him a big contract. You never heard from him.
We got that Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, won the MVP. I think he ran back. They got 2 pick sixes or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if I remember.
Yeah, and then he ran him back, and he gave him a big contract. And then you never heard from the Raiders. Of course, paid him. And then the dude Larry Brown, I think his name was. He never did nothing. Larry Brown. I think his name's Larry Brown. And he didn't do anything after that. So,
by the way, so Bradshaw's regular season career record was 111 wins, 57 losses, no ties.
Okay, what the hell was I thinking? What is his? Wait a minute. So then, what is his touchdown and picks?
Okay, his touchdowns. He threw 212 touchdowns. His interceptions, 210 touchdowns. 212 touchdowns, 210 interceptions.
There it is. Okay, so that's what it was. The touchdown that picks ratio with him.
Just like 2.
Now, how many touchdowns and picks does Ben have?
Let's go to the videotape and want to wolf you.
Ben's definitely got more than 210 touchdowns.
Let's go to the videotape.
Watch Ben have like 190 times. I'm like, what the hell am I talking about?
Okay, Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, let's go to his career stats as of right now, as we currently speak. Let's see. So we gotta remember Bradshaw has 212 touchdowns to his 200.
We're not even gonna do the playoff record because we know Bradshaw's is way better.
Okay, here we go. Let's see here. All right, his career By the way, just for the heck of it, of course, Ben Roethlisberger's career, he's 156 wins, 74 losses, 1 tie. That's already better. Let's see, his touchdowns. He has thrown 396 touchdowns.
Thank you. There you go.
And you want to hear the interceptions, by the way?
Yeah, way less. His touchdown and interceptions is very good.
You want to guess real quick?
He's got 300 and what? 90?
He has 396 touchdowns he's thrown.
Okay, Ben's never really threw a lot of picks, so I'm going to say Ben's got 101 picks.
Not bad. You missed by 100. 201.
201 picks.
Yep.
Damn. I didn't know he had that many.
That's almost a 2-to-1 ratio.
Right.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. Career-wise. Not bad. It's all right. By the way, did you hear of the finalists so far for the NBA Hall of Fame finalists?
I'm gonna assume it's Kobe. Is Kobe in it? Your mic is muted. I'm gonna assume it's Kobe. Is Kobe one of them?
No, wait, hold on. The finalists I got right here as far as for this year. Kobe's not one of them, believe it or not.
It hasn't been 5 years since Kobe retired?
I guess not. Well, you gotta remember, it was just he was just retired 2 years when he got killed? Just about 2 or 3 years.
3 years, maybe. I thought it was more than that. Okay, so
but you would think, but you know what?
I'm gonna say, well, T-Mac's already in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say AI's already in,
which he deserves. Yeah, he just got in last year before.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, if I'm thinking about 5 years ago, so 5 years ago is what, 2015. I'm gonna say, well, no, Dirk hasn't been retired 5 years. Steve Nash.
No, but you gotta remember, there's also guys on here that were, that still haven't been voted in yet, that they're still waiting for their turn. You know what I'm saying?
Nash isn't on the list?
No.
Amari Stoudemire?
No. We got okay, well, one of them is Paul Pierce. He's on the list.
Definitely Hall of Fame.
Definitely Hall of Fame. Chris Bosh is on the list. I don't understand that.
I think he's getting into.
You think Chris Bosh? Okay. Okay, and there's Tim Hardaway.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but I think he's getting it.
Me either.
I mean, he was 20 points, 10 rebounds, three titles? Two titles?
Thanks to LeBron, he got 2 titles. Although he deserves that one ring because of Popovich being an idiot and not having a
He is like an 8-time All-Star, 20 points, 10 boards. So he's getting in.
How? But I don't know, man.
Paul Pierce definitely deserved to be in. He was a Finals MVP. One of the best clutch shooters. Who else did you say in there?
There's Tim Hardaway. He's one of the finalists so far. He's borderline. He's not,
Christopher Maceo Weber better get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I was talking about this before he came on. Like, I didn't realize this is like his 8th year or 9th year of eligibility. How is he, like, I can understand maybe are they using his injuries against him or the scandal?
All that off the court stuff, the scandal with the Fab Five, they're probably holding against him. He never won a championship, but then again, he was up against Shaq and Kobe. I thought Chris Webber, because of what he did remember the Basketball Hall of Fame also consists of college.
Yep.
Which is in college as well. So
and WNBA too.
I would have definitely had him in.
I was saying earlier that I can understand if you didn't say he was first ballot, but how he's not in the Hall of Fame by now, you know.
Right.
Then you have Ben Wallace, one of the finalists. Eh, I think about Ben Wallace. I don't know. Ben Wallace. Then you,
Eh.
I know.
You know, a
Then
lot
you,
of people are gonna say, "Oh, he was a defensive player of the year. He won a title. Like he was one. He was like one of the most defensive players." I'm sorry. Somebody that averaged 4 points a game. I'm
he's not
sorry.
Dennis
I
Rodman.
can't. I can't have him in the Hall of Fame.
Dennis
If
Rodman.
he's not Dennis Rodman,
Yeah,
if
that's
you're
why
not
he got
Dennis Rodman,
rated.
you have to remember Dennis Rodman went and won titles with two different teams.
Yeah, yeah. He was part of the repeat of the Pistons and part of the
Of the
three-peat of the
70,
Bulls.
72
The
and 10
Chicago Bulls.
Bulls.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dennis Rodman, plus Dennis Rodman won rebound crowns. I understand Ben Wallace did too, but Ben Wallace Ben Wallace was definitely not Dennis Rodman. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Um,
I I don't even is he in the Hall of Fame or are they blackballing Rodman too?
no, Rodman's in.
He is
Yeah,
in. Yeah.
Rodman's in.
Okay, I'm about to say because I don't remember so much.
Ben
Now,
Wallace, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't put that dude in the Hall of Fame, man.
yeah. Then you have also you have the
First of all,
great.
and he's a late bloomer. Like he didn't start coming on till later on in his career. I can't. No, he had maybe I think he had like that 4 year stretch when he was with Detroit where he was like a dominating defender, couldn't shoot free throws. Guy averaged like 4 points a game. Like I'm sorry, like I just he wasn't to me that dominating enough for a long stretch of time. Like I said, I know he won two defensive player of the years.
Mhm.
I think or did he win more than that? But he
Yeah,
wasn't
but
dominating enough to
yeah,
me for
like I
for a
said,
longer stretch of time.
yeah, it doesn't scream out Hall of Fame. That's what I was
No,
saying. Yeah. So he should be scratched out eventually. I don't
yeah.
know what. Well, how's it usually broken down? Is it like breaking down to only three people, or how they do it? I don't remember how they do it.
I'm not sure about how they break it down. Um, I don't know whether it's a certain amount of people or,
Yeah,
but I know if it's a certain amount of people, he better not get in. I know that much.
yeah, I know. Then you
If you're not putting Christopher Maceo Webb in, who's got the statistics,
more than Ben
he won.
Wallace.
He won. You know what I mean? I'm sure he had a winning record as a
Hmm.
professional, I believe, and but he didn't win a championship. And Chris Webber kind of revitalized for the short period of time that Sacramento um, franchise that's always been trashed, and
Yep.
that franchise wasn't anything until Chris Webber came to Sacramento, and since he's been gone, they've been trash again. Like I can't remember the last time the Kings were in the playoffs.
Nah, yeah, that I can remember. Also, which I didn't realize, they have Bill Russell's name, but of course not as a player, but as a coach. And I remember him being a coach, but I don't remember him being that great of a coach.
Who?
So, the great Bill Russell, they have
Oh,
him.
so now they're trying to put him in as a coach. He's already in as a player.
Yeah, I know exactly. But like I was saying, I don't remember. Wow, he was such a great coach. You
Yeah,
know.
they'll put him in anyway because it's Bill Russell. But I'm not with that.
Then you got these other people, Lita Andrews. I don't know who that is,
I don't
and
know. I think she's a woman.
yeah. Then you have Michael Cooper. Is it the Michael Cooper?
Yeah, Michael Cooper from my Lakers. No, he's
Yeah.
not a Hall of Famer. He's not.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But but
Then you,
but remember, he coached the L.A. Sparks female team, who's won
uh,
championships. So
okay,
they
yeah.
probably consider him as
Maybe
that
that's
as
why.
well.
Yeah, that's why.
You just can't put anybody in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Michael Cooper is not a Hall of Famer.
No, that's why I don't. Yeah. And then you have Yolanda Griffith, and then you have Lauren Jackson, Marquise Johnson, Marine Stanley, and Jay Wright.
Yeah, not into the female players too much.
Me
And these other people, all I know is, when Vince is up, Vince has to go in. If T Mac is in, Vince should be in.
either.
Kobe's gonna be in. I guess Steve Nash. I guess they'll put him in if they didn't put
Yeah,
him in already.
see that one.
He won
Yeah,
2 MVPs, and they're gonna put him in.
yeah,
And to me, he had a nice little stretch of about 5 years of
and
his
I
career,
think
like 5 to 7 years, where he was really, really good. But like then he has like 9 years where he wasn't that good, or
yeah, so,
8 years
he's a
where he was
reboot.
just average.
Yeah,
And so he won that other MVP for just sympathy because the Shaq should have won it, and then you can argue that Kobe should have won the other one that he won. So
yeah.
I
So it
think
just
because Kobe was dealing with them scandals, they didn't give it to Kobe.
yeah. And the thing I'm surprised now that you brought it up earlier when I first brought up this topic, you would have thought they would waive off the 5 year and put Kobe this year, don't you think?
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
I'm shocked now that you think about it.
Really quick, I have to get out of here, but I want to
Right.
bring this up.
Yeah, please.
And I'm a Kobe fan, so I don't want to offend any Kobe fans or what have you.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
Kyrie Irving, Mister I know everything, and the Earth is flat. Kyrie Irving said that they should change the logo
Mhm.
from Jerry West to Kobe Bryant. He said that Kobe is everyone that in that generation and in his generation, which is not Generation Gen or whatever, but yeah, his generation. He's under 30.
Yeah.
So he's saying in his generation, Kobe Bryant is their Michael Jordan, right? So
Mhm.
he believes, LeBron is he considers LeBron as his peer, but LeBron is actually not in Kyrie's generation. Kyrie's not even 30. LeBron's 36, 37.
Yeah.
So LeBron is really right on the crust of would have been Kobe's kind of like Kobe's generation, even though
Mhm.
Kobe's got him by like 6 years, right?
Yeah.
But he still played in Kobe's prime. LeBron was playing. I mean, so Kyrie Irving said that they should change the logo from Jerry West to Kobe Bryant. And I'm gonna say this, and I love because you already know how I feel about Kobe Bryant.
Yes.
Um, if you're ever gonna change it, you gotta change it to Michael Jordan.
If,
Um, if you're gonna change it,
if.
the reason why I would say that Kobe cannot be that logo is because of Boulder, Colorado.
Mm.
And regardless of how we feel it went down or whether the girl was lying or this and that, it's still on his resume. And there are still some people who are triggered by that and believe he was guilty.
Mm.
I mean, so if you have that lingering over your head, and there's still some people that still feel a type of way, and they may be basketball fans,
Mm.
and there's women that are the game, and there's women that took offense to that.
Mhm.
You can't make him the logo because
True.
he had those that of course the cheating on his wife wasn't anything illegal, but it was still a scandal. He's cheating on his wife, and then
A
then
little
they had
black
the one
woman.
yeah then they had the one thing where he may have been served paternity papers at the game. Like we never really found that wasn't true, but it looked
Yeah.
like it. And
Yeah.
then the whole thing with the rape. I mean, that was a big deal. You know,
Sure.
Jordan. Jordan also had scandals, but it wasn't like that. It was gambling.
Yeah.
Then the father's death. Some people said it was
Mhm.
Jordan. Because
Yeah.
of the
Mhm.
gambling debt, and he
Mhm.
may have been involved in something. The father may have been involved in some sort of stuff with
Allegedly.
gangsters. I mean, and then of course you always have the far right conspiracy theorists that say that he sacrificed his father. So,
Mhm.
but that's not going to be in it, but the other stuff will be. So, as much as I love Kobe and I appreciate people saying Kobe Bryant's, they shouldn't change the logo to Kobe. if they ever change that logo, it can only be changed to Michael Jordan, because
Yeah.
Michael Jordan still to right now is the epitome of
Yep.
winner. He's been in some, he's been in a little bit off the towards, but nothing in the league has been in trouble. One more thing I
No.
want to say too.
Yeah, sure.
I got into this thing. I got into a argument with a debate with someone about LeBron, right? And
Okay.
we all know I'm a Laker fan. LeBron's on the Lakers, and I will never fix my mouth to say unless he somehow wins 7 championships, right, and breaks Kareem's record. To me, that is the only path that I will say that LeBron is the greatest ever. Because if he wins 7 titles, that means he has to win 3 more. So that means he's been to 13 finals, 7 and 6, and is the leading scorer of all time. So to me, that's the only path that I'll put him ahead of Jordan. But the thing that I got into people with was for people saying, taking the side of the, I forgot the European dude who made the comment to LeBron about LeBron needs to stay out of politics or whatever. The people that hate LeBron James so much that would go ahead and take the side of this dude, this foreigner dude or whatever that said LeBron James needs to shut up in politics, the same way how the other white female said, oh, he needs to shut up and dribble. The thing about it is this: when someone said, oh, LeBron doesn't know how, this narrative of he doesn't know how to handle pressure. Oh, LeBron, he doesn't know how to handle pressure because of that one series with Dallas, right? And I get choked up when I talk about this. LeBron James has so much on his back. He's the face of the NBA. Whenever something happens, everyone pushes LeBron in front of him. You say something, LeBron. And then he's the one that has to take all those bullets. You don't see them telling Magic Johnson, shut up and dribble. You don't see them telling, Chris Paul. They're not going to say Chris Paul is also involved in social injustice. But you don't see them telling Chris Paul, shut up and dribble. It's always LeBron. So for people to say he can't handle pressure, and this dude is not only the face of the NBA, he speaks for black people in sports.
Right.
Not just basketball. In sports.
Yeah, well,
and
people
for him
always
to have to handle all of black people's problems and social injustice, and then for them just to tear him down afterwards. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. But he was even standing up for the NFL. Every single time something happens, you don't see Michael Jordan standing up for black people. You don't see Magic Johnson. It's always, LeBron, say something. And they push LeBron in front of them as their bulletproof vest, and they all duck behind LeBron. And then they tear him down for what he said. To me, LeBron James, and for him to have been in this league this long, and the worst thing you can say about him is, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. I'll sign for that. I'll take that dude any day on my team. I'll take that dude any day as a leader. He never backs down. He's still speaking on social injustice. He's still going out there and kneeling whenever he needs to kneel. And then people are gonna say, "Oh, he just wants the limelight. Oh, he just wants attention. You know, he wants to be no." You think this dude asked for this? You think this dude asked for this for the criticism that he gets on a daily basis? If he says something, they criticize him. If he doesn't say something, they criticize him. You know what I mean? So, and it's like he is still, you know, when they last year when they shut it down for the pandemic, they were in the bubble. People, because everyone else didn't want to be in the bubble, right? And LeBron was ready for whatever. When Milwaukee stopped playing, you didn't see LeBron saying, "No, I want to win because I want to win a championship." LeBron said, "If you guys want to stop, we'll stop. If you want to stop, we'll stop. If you want to play, we'll play." And then what did they say? LeBron, what do you think we should do? And LeBron said, "Well then, let's you know, I think we can show us more if we're out there. We take a couple of days off. We want some change with social injustice, with the police department, this, that, and the other. We want some change." They started back up. Oh, he just wanted to start back up because nobody else wanted to be out there, and they knew he knew he'd get a cheap championship. I mean, it's like the dude can't win for loot. He can't win.
Nope. He can't win.
He can't win. So that's all I want to say about him.
I think that kind of just, I mean, it's been a little more heavy on him than previous people, but that just kind of comes with the mantle of being the greatest. And I think it's confirmation that he is the best. I don't, you know, they still try to name other people that are, you know, supposedly the best in the NBA right now. But it kind of confirms that he is still looked at by most as the best in the NBA. That's why they're being so critical on him as well. And just like, you know, and when you're on top, you're gonna have the most haters. The person that's on most top gonna have the most haters. It's just that plain and simple. I mean, let's be honest. When people are great, greatness brings haters. It's just great brings hate, I always say. And that's just what it is. If you don't have any hate, you can never truly be great. It's just that simple. So he just shows he just shows his greatness even more by handling it the way he does. He doesn't, you know, like I said, like you pointed out, there's very few times. There's a couple of times LeBron, as he was maturing, might have said a couple of things that he probably shouldn't have said, you know, and stuff like that. But that's all part. The man grew up in front of us, just like Kobe did. You know, this guy grew up in front of us. He came into the league. He was 18 years old.
Yeah, I remember.
He's a kid. You know, so he grew from a boy to a man in front of us. So not everything he's going to say is going to be on point. But that's a good point that you make. They're always going to, but you know, there's really no point in getting frustrated about it because that's going to happen no matter what. If you're great, it doesn't matter how good you do, because you got the ones that worship Michael Jordan, but when Michael Jordan was in the league and on top, there was many people that hated him because he was great, plain and simple. So, you know, there's other great players that really, you know, I don't know. It seems like there's some that didn't have as much, but they all had some type of hate. So that's just, I think also let's be honest here. We're in this business of media and stuff. It also makes for good television to have something to argue about or something to debate about. Yeah. You know, you got 2-3 debate shows now, like First Take and the other one with Skip, and they're debate shows, so they have to debate. You got one guy on one side of the table that is a LeBron lover. So this is not good television if the other guy isn't a LeBron hater.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's part of it too.
Yeah. So one thing, key point that Evan said, I think more than anybody I could ever think of, maybe besides, I'm not saying that Derek Jeter is the same Angela as LeBron, but because usually most people are on that high pedestal, there's always some scandal or something.
Yeah. Jeter was never nothing either.
Never nothing. Yeah, never
In
nothing.
New York and playing on the most famous team, and that's why I always gave him props. And
Yeah.
but the thing about Jeter is, he's also one of the few athletes that was on top, maybe because he was never considered to be the best in baseball. Maybe that's why he does. I haven't really seen anybody that hates Jeter. Even the teams that played against him. I mean, I heard them say, "I hate the Yankees." Everybody except Jeter. You know, I mean, I've heard everyone say that because I remember the Red Sox. The funny thing is, the Red Sox after the Yankee collapse, everybody blamed A-Rod. The Red Sox was, and I'm sure you remember this, but remember the Red Sox were like, they were adding to the Jeter A-Rod beef, right? And they were like, he'll never be Jeter, like he'll never be Derek Jeter. You know, it's like they were Jeter teammates after the collapse. They blamed it on A-Rod. Like, because remember during that collapse is one of the games is when he slapped the glove out of the dude's hand, out of Bronson Royal's hand. So they were like, Derek Jeter would have never did that. No wonder he had to move to third. He's not Derek Jeter. So even the Red Sox started adding to it. And they were like, you just can't hate Jeter, because as much as they won, like he never over celebrated, never rubbed it in people's faces. So
about people. Yeah. So my theory, like I said, it says it's very rare. You can't find anyone like that. So, like you said, the worst thing you can say about LeBron is just, I'm taking my time to South Beach. That was it, really, for the most part. He doesn't have no drug scandal. Or some other things that might be, foul play. All these guys have tons of women, so that's nothing new.
Right.
But as far as like,
but he's never been busted. You know what I mean? There's always
never been caught.
whispered, but it's never been confirmed.
Yeah,
never been confirmed and caught red-handed out there.
Yeah, like the wife made a big deal out of it or something like that. But I'm sure, like, of course, there's been plenty of whispers about him and females, whatever. But it's never been a public knowledge. Like, if it comes out, people would be like, "Oh my God, really?" There's not really people would be like, "Oh, I know about that already." You know what I mean?
No,
like maybe LeBron. But that is true. Jeter as well. Jeter stayed single and that's one of the reasons why he stayed single for so long.
That's smart.
I gotta get out of here. Oh man,
on that there should be a class, just like in NFL. They have courses of how you should conduct yourself. They should take the Jeter book. This is what you do. Don't get married.
Give Tiffany bracelets after one night stands and give bags.
And then keep quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't be stupid. Don't do the opposite of what A-Rod did. Getting hookers and yelling "ha" when you're rounding third base when it's taking
I always thought that was pretty funny. Actually,
that was funny.
I always thought that was pretty funny. Actually, ha. I mean, he didn't break the rules. It's not against the rules.
Listen, let me tell you something.
You know what?
If ha makes you drop the ball, you ain't got no business out there.
That's right. That's why I was saying back then. I said, don't blame A-Rod, blame yourself. But that's that's old as little league. You go,
that's like no batter, swing. You gonna swing?
You made me swung. No, you're the idiot that swung. That's like when someone's on the pop, you go, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then he drops it. Yeah, no, that was, to me, he didn't break the rules. So I actually thought that was pretty funny when that happened. People, baseball has all these stupid unwritten rules and all it gets on my nerves. They act like they bougie, like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that.
If it's a no hitter and you do a bunt single, they boo you. I don't want to get no hit.
Yeah.
But guess what? So why is that different if it was to win the game? Like if I have a runner at first who's fast, so I can't bunt if there is a winning run situation. It could be the same thing. Oh, why'd you do that for? Because I want to win. Yeah. So why is it different? I don't want to get no hit. Oh, you bunt. That's on you. You should be
ready,
prepared for it.
Okay. Make sure have the third baseman come in a little bit, first base, and just make sure, especially if it's a speedy guy,
Right.
But see, nowadays they don't know how to bunt anyway, so don't have to worry about that no more.
But it's like if it's one baseball to unwritten self. If it's 1-0, 2-1, okay. But if it's like 10-0 and you're clearly bunting just to break up the no hitter, they get pissed off.
Or that unwritten rule: if you're up by like 5 runs or so, you should or 6 runs.
Stop scoring. Like,
stop stealing bases. I'm like, well, when you stop, I forgot what someone famous said it. I forgot what manager it was. He said, well, until you stop playing, we'll stop stealing. You stop scoring, then we'll stop stealing.
Right. I mean, because you're right. I mean, because it's so you've never. I've seen. Remember, baseball is the ultimate game for comebacks because there's no time limit. I've seen teams come back. I've seen the doggone Yankees down 9-0, 10-0. And if you stop scoring, they come back and win.
Yeah,
you don't stop scoring.
So whose fault is that? You lost because you went by that stupid unwritten rule, But whatever.
Yeah.
But
all right, guys.
All right, time to go. Wes, thank you for coming in. At the time.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Thanks. Yeah,
thank you very much. Sorry it's so late, but in school, in class.
Don't problem, man. Understandable, man. Thank you
Shout out to everybody in the chat room that came through.
Yeah,
this was up. Always remember to like and share and comment. Definitely share. It takes 0.2 milliseconds to hit the share button. Perfect. Share it. Merch coming soon for the Benchwarmers. Working on a theme song opening for you. So hopefully all of that stuff is going to come in. It's going to feel like all of the other shows. Obviously, don't forget to watch and listen and check out Real Talk on Mondays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's obviously my show with the Jedi Council. Yep. And yeah, man, that's all I got to say, Jimmy. It's a good job.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you, Wes, for chiming in. Of course, producing the show, saying this all up by the director himself, Wes Clark, and of course, thanks also again to my co-host, the great Heaven Hollywood. See him in a live near you on Instagram, and of course on here on this channel on the IE Network on YouTube. And of course, you could always check out the Benchwarmers podcast after this goes off the air anytime, and all the other old shows we have on here on IE Network, and of course all the real talk old shows and all of Heaven's old lives, and even with the breakdown with Wes and Heaven when they've done certain topics that they talked about. So this is this, and of course also with Block TV. Now don't forget about that. That comes on every once a week. Talking about what's going on in the entertainment world. Block TV, can't forget about that. So just always put on that notification button when it comes to the IE Network, because we're on and popping as always. So of course, I bid you all adieu. Thank you for joining in. Tune in next week for the Benchwarmers podcast, exclusively on here on the IE Network, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You all have a great week. Have a good night. And as I go off into the IE Network horizon, I say this to all y'all: latest and tomatoes. Peace.